I'm Kimmie Rose, and this is your weekly vibe and mantra for June the 2nd through June the 8th, 2019 AD. And can you believe that we are already in the summer? And I actually had a gathering where we dressed up, and it was a goddess gathering, and so we all put makeup on and did our hair and just felt, hung out, and it was a great time. I had a really good time with a lot of people, and I am very grateful to have the friends that I have in my life. This week is a very, very, very important week. I've had a lot of people say to me, "Oh my gosh, my luck, it feels like it's ran out. I don't have the kind of luck that I used to have." Or it seems like, we're supposed to be creating these things in our lives, but nothing seems to be turning out the way that I want it. And what I would tell you to do is, so they say, when one door opens, another one closes. And so whatever you want to create in your life, it's up to you. But one of the things I like to tell people is, do you see the monkey? Don't get monkey mind, right? So I'm going to wear this monkey just for a few minutes, and just so you can see how silly it is when you say, this is what I want to do in my life, but this and this and this and this and that is holding me back. It's like your mind's jumping around, and you got to take that monkey off. Know that, monkeys can do a lot of things. They can stretch their arms out. They're very, very adaptable. But if your mind isn't, if you're not able to stay present with things, what will happen is you're going to actually lose sight of what your goals are. And one of the things that I love to share with people is, focus on what it is that you want in your life. Focus on, what is it that I want in my life? And when you focus on what you want in your life, what you can do is you can create a clear vision of it. And that vision becomes a movie. And that movie becomes a reality. And that reality becomes a story. And that story becomes the next phase in your life. Some people, I have a really good friend, and she said, I took the week off because I want to take a look at what the next phase of my life is. And I said to her, well, how do you do that? I like to know, how different people, actually put things into motion, start attracting the things that they need. And what she said was, well, I like to take a look at things practically, and then take a look at it and see what would it take to get there. And then what is the reality? What is the time? How does that fit into my life? And what are my present goals? How do those goals fit with the future? And am I really where I want to be in terms of where I am in my age? And for her, she's worked very hard for many, many years, like most of us have. I'm 51 now, and she's looking at retirement and slowing down, but also maybe creating something of her own, like boutique or store. I don't know. I know she's putting that into her mind, what she wants it to be, and she'll get there. And I had all of a sudden, then I had talked to somebody, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had this vision. It popped into my head. It came to me, and I said to her, I said, I need you to meet somebody, and what you can do is you can start creating with this person. And she said, collaborate. I'm like, that's right. This is where I feel we are. We are in a time of great connection and collaboration. The more we learn that we are meant to work together, to create things that actually grow and plant the seeds. And the more we can trust, if I plant the seeds, perhaps at that 1 week I can't be there. So somebody will go and they will water them. And as they water them, they will be nurtured and they will actually take form and go, and they'll actually grow, and that whatever is growing will grow perfectly as intended. That if we work together, we're not worrying so much about things because we know that the right people are in our lives to help us to make those things grow. And by now you have already had that vision. And I always like to say this, I wrote this down. Make sure you ask yourself what is really important to you, and then have the wisdom and have the courage to build your life around the answer. So how do you build your life around the answer? Simply by allowing you to see your life first. Like for me to build my life around the next phase of my life, it's going to take clearing things out. It doesn't mean accumulating more, but it means lightening up and getting rid of things, like just letting go. And so in order to get there, I need to really, really find ways of simplifying, because one of the things I want to do is get rid of, I have a big house and a lot of land, and I'm very grateful for it, but is to get on the road and have an RV and be able to travel and meet people and do things, especially during the colder months. And then, always be able to be around my children and be home. Now I have 2 children, 2 girls that I'm still waiting to see what they're doing, where they're going. And I always tease them because I go, "No, one of you are going to be going somewhere, and I'm going to be following you." The truth is when I see my life, I like to see where my children are, and where they are, that's where I'll always want to be. But I do for health reasons and just for my own inner balance, moving into the warmer weather during the colder months. I just feel like that's really where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do. So it's really important that if you get down and you get frustrated, you remember this. When you feel like quitting, think about why you started doing something. When you feel like quitting, think about why you started it. And ask yourself, this is something important. What are you willing to do to create the life that you want? Now, there are different things that we may and may not be willing to do. The truth is, you know what your boundaries are. Set them and step in to the path and know that there's nothing that can hold you back. That this Mother Earth that we live in, she's waiting for you to plant seeds. And she will help you to nurture those seeds. She will help you to make manifest the next phase of your life. I purposely this week, I'm going to stand in front of a bunch of doors and again give that example. When one door opens, right? Something closes. Or when one door closes, another door opens. And how I would like you to see that is try to not have too many things open at once and really focus on simplicity. The more we simplify, the more things will manifest for us in a healthier way. That's really important because we're going to see and feel a lot this week. It's going to feel like we are in a brand new vibration. You're going to be feeling a lot of energy, a lot of frequency. I've heard so many people say, oh my gosh, my nerves are so bad. I feel like I'm, like I just can't handle this. But reality sets in, and it says, what you have not yet dealt with, you must feel through, you must express it, and you must change it. Otherwise, the mirror you draw in your life is exactly the mirror of what you are and what you are made of. So if you've had something in your life that you haven't dealt with, for instance, maybe you've had some fears, or maybe you've been through something and you have stilled your voice and you didn't think that it was something you needed to deal with, or maybe you will never have to deal with it. But if it is something you need to deal with, it's going to come up this week, and it's going to ask you to take a look at it, and it's going to ask you to release it. So if you got to scream, you got to talk to someone, you got to ask for help, this is the week to ask for support. This is the week to know that you are good enough. I started this Facebook group called I Have a Voice. And for me, I do have a voice. My name is Kimmie Rose, and I am the voice of a child who once kept things tightly tucked inside of her. I am an incest survivor. I am a woman. I'm a mother. I am a friend. I am a daughter. I am all kinds of paths. I've created many paths. But first, I must create the path of healing. And that has been my intention. I started seeing a yoga teacher, and I'm doing private lessons and just balancing things out, just clearing what needs to be cleared. And all that stuff that I've had tucked up inside that I would just cram so much into my life so I didn't have to feel those things, like that hurt or what, that trust or just the lack that I didn't, it wasn't lack, I created more so I didn't have to feel it. And what happened was I got into a relationship that it really drudged up a lot of these feelings, and then I thought, and all of a sudden I got triggered, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having dreams and all kinds of things, and it was important for me, and it has been important for me to feel through these things, and not to numb my feelings, but to feel through what I need to feel through, because my health started getting affected. And I thought, I know I don't have to feel like this forever. I know my health does not have to be to the point where I'm so sore that I can't move. I know that this lack of movement and this feeling, it was like a crippling feeling, it can pass if I can allow the things that are creating pain, that was a deep buried pain inside of me, to heal. And that is the first step of my journey. I know when I move through that, I know I will carry with me some wisdom, a lot of wisdom that will, first of all, help me and then help others. And with that, I had to say to people in my life, this is how I feel, and I need your support. Those that are willing to be there and support me and understand me and understand that I'm not just dwelling in the past, I'm not doing it because I need attention or anything. I'm just wanting to acknowledge that, hey, my journey is a certain journey that I'm on this journey. And in order to get to the next part of that journey, I need to let go of that feeling that inner child went through. What do they say? If a child lives with shame, they learn to feel guilty. It's to let go of that guilt and to actually know that it's okay to say no. It's okay to set limits. That setting limits means I am not limiting myself anymore. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be supported. So whatever it is in your life, and it could be something totally different, recognize it. I'm not saying go into all the deep buried things, because maybe some of these things, you can't go into things like that. Your subconscious mind will only give you what you need to deal with when you're ready. So what happened to me is my subconscious, what happened was it started bringing up things, and that was through a relationship I was in that was triggering some of this childhood stuff. And it was saying, I'm saying, wait a minute, this isn't right. This is not feeling right. I'm not feeling good about myself. What is going on is giving me an uncomfortable feeling, when you say these things or when you do these things. So I all of a sudden, I would say no, and I wasn't being honored in what I was asking to stop, when I was asking certain people to stop and to not do those things. And the ones that did not honor me, what happened was it started to drudge up all these things that this child inside of me had felt. And I always felt like, wow, if I say I've had enough or don't do that, like, oh, well, they're not listening, so it doesn't matter because my feelings don't matter. It really, really, really put the gauntlet down, and it was like, I can't let this just go away. I can't let this disappear, because it's not going to disappear. Started to have dreams and memories, and then getting these bursts of anger because I was trying to set boundaries. And then when I would get mad, I felt like terrible, like, oh my gosh, because for me, when I express something, I feel it back. I'm like, how am I going to be able to set a boundary, honor my time, or say, no, that's not okay that you're saying that to me. That feels terrible that you would even think of that or say that. And then for that to be repeated again and again, it was bringing up all these things. And I finally burst out and I said, no more. This is not for the highest good of me. And if you are not hearing me, you will never hear me. And then others will not hear me. Because I recognize that the people I keep in my life, if I am not being heard, my own needs are not being heard or respected, then how could I expect anybody that I meet, or anybody that is even in my, life, all the way to my children, how can they respect me if I'm not getting that respect of what I ask? I'm verbalizing stop to the people that are close to me in my everyday life. If they can't honor me for the things that I say no, then how is anybody else going to listen to me? And that's what's important. Pay attention. Pay attention to the things in your life that you have said, no, I'm not wanting this, or you're hurting me, or you're saying this, or I don't like that, I am not that person, or I will not participate in that. Pay attention to what you're saying. And if you're not being heard, watch in other areas of your life. That's disrespect if somebody's not listening to you, and then they just go about and they fulfill their own needs, despite what you're asking them to stop doing. you will not be respected in other areas of your life. And then you will stop respecting yourself. And then you will find things falling apart. Now is the time, as I stand here in this moment, and I say to you, and I am going to come up close and say, if you want people in your life to be a part of your journey, and you want people to be able to share with you and to support you, then you must allow yourself to be okay with saying, I've had enough. Or if you have said to people, no more, I am not doing this anymore. I will not allow myself to be disrespected. Regardless of what your need is, it is hurting me and it is not helping me. It's okay for you to say no. It's okay if you're in a relationship and let's say somebody's doing something and it is triggering a part of you. It's a part of you that has been through something that is really like for abuse. If somebody in your life is doing something or if they're talking to you a certain way and it's triggering that, abuse pattern that you felt as a child, do not let it be okay. When you say no, this is enough. If someone does not honor you, if people are mistreating you, or if you are being treated like an object or whatever it is, say enough. Those who truly love you will listen to your need. When you say, I need to be heard, I've had enough, they will listen to you. Now is the time where you will start connecting with your spiritual family or your tribe. We all were born into families, and some of us are blessed to have families that choose to walk with us, and some of us are blessed to have new families. But remember, the most important person in the family to you is you. And if you are not honoring that person, no one else will. There is no way that anyone else will if you are not honoring that person. So as I stand here, and it's like I said, I went to a goddess party, so, made ourselves up and, dressed up and just had fun and expressed ourselves, did some dancing. We pretended we were trees, and if we had branches and we could just reach up really high and just stretch our arms out. And we could just feel everything and to hold ourselves tight. How does that feel? And many of us were just doing this, like, okay. And many of us started just to take our arms and to really feel ourselves. You know what it's like to hold a baby? You're holding that baby and you're just feeling all that love. What is it like to hold yourself and to nurture you? If you've got your hands on your arms, start feeling your body. And if something starts to feel sore, this is what my yoga instructor said. She said, just rub it, and take care of yourself. Release what no longer needs to be there. Take care of you. I found that my adrenals, one of my friends, Sandy, by the way, thank you, Sandy. She said, check your adrenals. And I'm like, wow, I can feel this. I'm like taking in this. And so I'm not okay with this. I'm not going to be part of this story that you want to create in your head through your mind when I am not going to play that part because I was a victim as a child. And regardless if it's just a fantasy or not, it's not something that's okay. You have to set your boundaries. And if people don't like it, it's too bad. They may get really angry at you, and they may say, oh, well, you just can't let go of those things. You're holding on to those things. Get over it. It's a past. Guess what? It is the past. But if people are putting that stuff on you and you're feeling victimized, chances are you're going to feel your past. And it is going to feel so heavy and overwhelming. You're not going to be able to deal with happiness because that part of you that was wounded, you're actually letting yourself get abused or wounded. You're not being respected. And I'm seeing this with a lot of people that I talk to who have had one young lady who was given up for adoption when she was a little older, and it was in a not so good way. I think adoption's a wonderful thing, but this was more in a way where her mom decided that she was on boyfriend number 3 and had actually 3 times put her into with a different family member, and then would come back after the relationship was over, and the 3rd time put her in a foster care and said, I'm gone, you'll have a happier life without me. Basically, her mother chose a relationship over caring for her, but she said, I always wanted my mom to come back, and I always knew she would. She would figure out that I mattered more than that other person. And I said to her, what are your relationships like in your life? And she said, well, they're good. The guy I'm with, we're off and on. He comes and goes. I know he loves me, though. I'm like, well, he's not here right now, is he? And she goes, no, he left. He's living with another woman. We've been together for about 15 years, and he's had like 4 different relationships. But I know that he'll come back. And I said, do you see that that's okay with you? And she goes, it's not okay with me. It's hurting me. That's why I'm calling you. I go, but do you see that that's also something that as a child that you accepted? And her mother never came back for her. And yet she still knows that someday, she says, my mom will come back. I hope her mom does come back for her, just to say, I'm sorry that I left you. But I said, you have to set your boundary right now. This is not okay with you. Although if it is okay with you, I'm not going to tell you to set it. I'm going to say, then it's okay. Maybe you just don't need to be with him right now, and then wait till he comes back while he does whatever he does. It's up to you. She goes, no, I wanted to stop, but I couldn't figure out why. Like, there's this part of me that is just waiting, and now I understand because I haven't stopped waiting. I mean, I still have that hope with my mom. I said, you can still have that hope with your mom, but you also have to recognize that she is gone. And if she comes back, she comes back, but you don't have to make that excuse that maybe she loves me, and when she comes back, I'll know. Just know that you ended up being raised in a wonderful family, which she did. Her foster care parents are awesome. I know they are. And she went to, and that's all that matters. So now so that's what you need to do now, is just bring into being what you want, and anything that's blocking it, look at the mirror of it, and then recognize, wait a minute, this is why I'm creating these patterns. This is how I can release. This is how I can be. So we're going to do the mantra. Let's just start with that by ringing the bell and just calming. As I sit in the presence of myself, I can feel that I am whole. I am enough. The balance is mine to choose. And when I choose balance, my seeds of manifestation have already taken root and are naturally nurtured. I am whole. Even if you just say, I am whole. Any seeds that you plant when you are nurturing and loving yourself, they are rooted and they will grow because the Mother Earth will take care of you. And with that, I want to thank you for joining me this week. And please check out the book launch. There's a video on there about the book launch. And also, I have a voice. And also on Thursdays, tune in to my show, Interviews with myself and Lucian Thomas. You can listen to ToledoRadio.org or you can go to 106.1 FM. We have lots of great guests, lots of awesome topics. And if you have a topic and you'd like to come on the show, you can get a hold of me by going over to KimmieRose.com, and that's with an IE, and send me an email and just let me know what you would like to talk about. Also, download my app, Kimmie Rose, and if you would like to set up an appointment for guidance, healing, hypnotherapy, there's so many wonderful people that are part of Prisms of Light, and they are wonderful teachers, shamans, counselors, even someone that reads the Akashic Records. And as you are in the time of the Akashic Records, go over to lighttheway.com and check out the wonderful teachers that are there, or you can call 734-854-1514. Most of all, I cannot say enough that other than you are enough. Your soul is ready. Take those seeds and feel them. You can feel them in the earth. You've already planted them. And if you're not nurturing them, anybody that is not cultivating those seeds with you, let them know how you feel. And if they cannot honor that, be willing to release what it is that no longer serves your highest good. So, anything that's holding you to your past, if there's a pain there, anything, whether it be a belief or a person or a situation, know that even though it may feel comfortable for you, if you keep saying it's okay, this is just good enough for me, it will never change. Allow your seeds to be nurtured. And you do that yourself. And the Mother helps you. Being Mother Earth. Take care of Mother Earth. And with that, I cannot thank you enough for joining me. And we're going to be doing a lot of things. Like I said, this new website is really wonderful. Gordon Harris, he's a wonderful promoter, is working hard with me, and Margie Cox working really hard, helping me with this book launch. We'll be starting in Hawaii. Wake Up Your Intuition, the book in manual, and I'm excited. I'll be sharing that date next week. And also going to different places. If you're interested in having me come and share, you want to develop your intuition, you would like to connect with your mediumship skills, and you just want to live the life you were meant to live, please go over to KimmieRose.com and reach out, and I will see you next year. I can't wait. And thanks for watching this video and supporting everything that you do. That's why I do this. I do it diligently every week. And Skip Smith, thank you so much for helping me. And bless you, bless you, bless you. And please, please let me know how you like this video. Give me a thumbs up. I'm just going to ask you that. I wonder if everybody gets to the end of the video. You see that little thumb there? Thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, still give me a thumbs up. Most of all, I appreciate you. Whether you're just scanning through and just watching this for the first time, thank you for joining me. And if you want to subscribe, you can hit subscribe and you will get a weekly Vibe and Mantra every week. And soon we're going to have other things coming. We're going to have free guidance, free readings, meditation, yoga, all kinds of things. As we are all beautiful prisms of light. Thank you so much and bless you. Peace.
Static is just forming some chords and some walls. I'm static without the ends, and every breath of hers was a thorn in his eye, and every petal's blushing red. It's on my fingertips, and my electric lights becoming